All right, we're back in the garage. Thought it was time for a second video. Thanks for all the interest, by the way, on the first one. Very fun for both me and Dad. Had a lot of interest, a lot of questions, so I figured for this video we will do, I'll update you on a few things that I forgot to include in the first video, and then at the end we can go over some of the comments and things that people were wondering. So that actually laid out a bunch of items here that we can go over, which will also answer some of the questions that people have been wondering. So we can just do that. Start right here. So here we have the transmission. As you already know, it's a 6-speed manual. It's a ZF transmission from Germany, taken out of a 5 Series BMW. Important thing to notice here is this part, this clutch housing, is actually taken from an automatic 740, Volvo 740, and it's been cut and welded onto here to make it fit the Volvo block better. And it's important that you know it's the automatic one because it's a bit bigger and then a lot easier to work with this transmission. And then additionally, in the back here, there's a fully custom-made bracket that'll go and support the transmission underneath. Everything here is completely custom-made by him, except this, this little thing in the middle here. But yeah, all measured and custom-made. Previous video, we also talked about the rear axle that had been cut by 18 centimeters. This is it. As you can see right here, 9 centimeters each side, and it's now ready to get welded again. So obviously some work left to do here. But another detail that's worth mentioning is this. Obviously you have to cut these two as well. And the problem is you cut it from this side, right? So these splines, they had to get machined and redone, obviously down to the very, very fine details, because obviously this will all go into here, into the differential and all that. So very precise machining done here to get these splines right after having to cut them off. And I know there's been some people who've been wondering about the subframe. So now we have the mounts, engine mounts here and here currently. Normally they would be somewhere out here. And to answer some of the questions about the engine position that people were wondering, he could have just plopped the engine down into the bay as it was. But you know, he said a bit half for fun and half for performance. He decided to move the engine a bit down and further back, obviously for center of mass grip and all that. And he's obviously also putting the big intercooler over there and a radiator in. So like all the space you save by putting the engine further back also helps. So with the subframe being like this, now he'll have a bit more space to work with in the front. Here we have an actual unmodified subframe, and here you can see the engine mounts are, this is where they normally are. But on the modified subframe, you have them all the way back here. Another thing he wants to do in the to take out of the engine bay is the alternator. Try and get it somewhere underneath, preferably where the middle axle is, just to move it out of the engine bay to have more space. Because there's also going to be an oil cooler, which still unsure where to put it, because you know once you're doing the intercooler and the radiator, you know, at some point on the big turbo, you'll be running out of space. So yeah, if you can move things to where there's more space, it'll be helpful for organizing the engine bay. Here we have another detail. These are the lower support arm. He's going from spring dampers to adjustable coilovers. So normally the spring would go through here, but this has been reinforced with, I think it's at 4 millimeter thick plating here. So he's gonna have adjustable coilovers. So has to have this plate for the lower support arms in the front, and then on the back it'll just be on here. But yeah, so this had to be custom made because usually the spring just goes through there. And you can also see on the lower support arm how the springs go into this and it's open down here. That's how it also was changed with the supporting, with the 4mm reinforcements to support the adjustable coilovers. In addition, here we have an update to the roof. In the previous video, you can kind of see that the transition was pretty rough, but I think here you can probably see basically Dad has just used tin and filled this area all in, and I think, as far as I know, he's done it all by eye. He hasn't used any measuring or anything. This probably shows how much experience he has working on the bodies of cars, because as you can see right now, it's a bit out of focus. There you go. You can see how smooth it's gotten already, and yeah, it just goes. Yeah, I mean, if you know your Amazons, you can tell that it's a bit higher up, but like, once everything is in, the car's painted, you know, all the details are in place, I don't think, you'll barely even think about this, so I think it'll look great. Another thing I forgot to mention, usually these bumpers have these little attachments on either side, both on the front and the back. Those have been removed. On this front bumper, he's also going to add, instead of having the blinkers where they normally are, he's going to add like small LED blinkers in the bumper here. Additionally, he's going to move the park lights up in the normal headlights as well. He might go for some modifications to the actual main headlamp as well, but that's kind of undecided as for now. A little editor's note before we head into the Q&A of this video. Any and all welding where bare metal comes into contact with bare metal, there's been used original Volvo welding primer. Now, why is this relevant? Well, I'm no welder, but the way it has been explained to me is that it creates a more complete weld and works almost like a sealant, which improves the quality of the weld and obviously the lifespan of the weld. So that's been used all around where bare metal comes into contact with other bare metal. Nei, men du har jo, hvis vi går over alle stedene hvor jeg har vært postet video og kommentarer og sånn, ja. Så vi jo, på YouTube så det jo 9000 klikk nå. Så mange, ja. Ja. Og så på de to andre steder så det jo 62 000 på det Volvo forumet, så det 30 000 på sånn prosjektbilforum. Så da det jo faktisk oppe I 100 000 da. Totalt klikk. Ja. Men traff I garasjen da med 100 000. Ja. Nå parker på veien da. Jeg tror det. Jeg så lurte på hvordan du skal gjøre det med innsprøyting og sånn. Skal du konvertere noe der, eller? Ja, jeg skal ha E-fri innsprøyting på det. Ja, var det jeg lurte på? Critic Kulchi lurte på størrelsen på turbo. Ja, det var ikke nesten dette. Det blir jo ikke å bruke den der, men det... Nei, men han var god for å levere ut på 800. Hvis det... Så var det en som lurte på det med servoen og sånn, fordi han snakket om, han lurte på om det kunne bli bråkat, om du bare skulle ha den oppe sånn, eller om du skal pakke den inn noe, eller? Nei, den bråket litt, det ble akkurat som en vinduspussermotor og hører ut. Nei, ikke noen motor der I gang og alt annet. Han sitter sånn originalt I de bilene det elektrisk servo på ja. Fiat Open som har den der oppe på Restomod, så nei, det hører ut. Så var det en som heter Skinny Mattress, han lærte på, du har den moderne grillen foran. Skal du ha noen andre moderne sånn paneler eller body parts? Eller blir det med den? Hvordan blir det med bakluk og sånt?
Nei, bak, men det kan vi ta litt senere, men det kan du jo skrive litt som vi ikke har laget enda, men det har jeg jo laget.
Og så var det en som lurte på om du hadde OZ-felger, om de var bestilt med riktig, det hadde du.
Ja.
Så du trenger ikke noe overgang eller adapter der.
Det kan hende jeg må bruke noen spacer, jeg er ikke helt sikker på hvordan jeg ender ut, men
Nei.
Hvis jeg skal ha det, så hadde jeg tenkt jeg skulle få Robert til å dreie, og så at du skrur om I felgen, så dette er Aves skive.
Ja, sånn, ja. Nei, det var jo en kommentar da, som var veldig... Han hadde fått veldig mange sånne like-klikk. Han håpet at du skulle putte... For det var bare... Han kunne bare sende bilder. Han håpet at det skulle være en 5-sylinder oppi der. Men da sa jeg det at denne her blir ikke 5-sylinder på, men du har jo en 850 T5 her, som du også...
Ja, jeg hadde jo planer om at jeg skulle bruke en 5er, men det blir så mye dyrere motor, så det var det jeg hadde tenkt først. Men...
Og så var det en som lurte på det, eller liksom, dette jo, du har jo, det SEMA det heter, den store bilmessa I Amerika?
Ja.
Han lurte på, han skjønte sikkert ikke at det var norsk, men han lurte på om han skulle ta SEMA.
Ja, jeg så det og lurte på om det var et SEMA-bygge.
Ja. Altså, men apropos det da, da var det, han lurte på om du kanskje kunne tatt og laget noe sånn sosial mediaside for bilen og sånt, med tanke på sponsorer og sånn, men du ikke noe interessert I sånne ting, eller?
Nei, jeg hadde jo litt muligheten med bilsport, men da fikk jeg en sånn framdriftsplan og...
Ja, du måtte følge...
Ja,
det ble litt masse.
I det nummeret så skulle det være klart, og da... Nei, kjente jeg til tørka.
Nei, jeg så lurte på hva du planlegger for å gjøre med beskyttelse mot rust og sånn, men det kanskje ikke noe særlig tema I og med at den rustbeskyttelse og sånn.
Nei, det blir epoxy og fyller og lakk på klarlakk overalt, både under og utenpå og inni og...
Hva var det du sa? Epoxy og...
Epoxygrunning, fyllergrunning, lakk og klarlakk.
Kanskje bare forvente. Siste man ut da, jeg tar den kommentaren her til slutt da, for den litt morsom. Det jo Dagfinn da, har du sett den?
Han som har gamle bilen min?
Ja. Har du sett han på YouTube? Han skrev jo det at...
Ja, at det var morsomt at det var...
At du fortsatt holdt på?
Ja.
Og så har han jo sagt det at... Så skrev jeg det at du hadde jo vist meg noen bilder av den bilen, og at du han nye eieren da. Så sa jeg det at jeg må ta en titt på sånn, for siste gang jeg så var jeg bare unge.
Ja.
I hvert fall I person, og da ba han seg frem her da, at du kunne dukke opp, og så pratet jeg litt om bilen, og kanskje lagde en video på denne med dere to. Det kunne vært morsomt,
Nå har man sett den bort nå, hva?